Well, we are, very pleased with our November, right? That was it was just really fun to see their growth. And I think the end of November, those last two games, we really, it wasn't pretty, but we were without Lucy, who'd been we've run everything through her, and we hadn't really faced any pressure up until then. And then everybody licks their chops when your key ball handler's out. So we got better from the Rhode Island game to the BYU game, and we got some people some really great minutes that I don't think would have gotten minutes had Lucy not had the mishap. So I was happy with how that the last two games were, and now we're coming back and excited to have this opportunity in New York and getting to play a really, really great team in Tennessee.
Just how's Lucy doing, and you're kind of still shaking?
Yeah, a little bit. It was just a really bizarre mishap, and so she's practicing, but she's not quite back to herself yet. It was just a pretty tough cut, but she's going. It just, I hope it feels a lot better in a couple days. We have tomorrow off of practice, so it'll be good to kind of, I think, let it heal a little bit more.
So is it a deal with a raised floor?
No, it was unique in the sense of it's really good floors, and it's a really good tournament in that sense. But the floor is like it is in Carver, right? It's raised, and so then there's the edge of it, and it's in a banquet hall. So kind of think the Hyatt Regency or any wedding venue that you're in. The doors, it just was it's close, right? But not so much you're safe. You're running into it if you hustle, but it's like she kind of stepped off. But then the doorway was about 4 or 5 feet, but there was a tile that led to that. So then it was misshapen again a little bit. But I mean, to hit it that perfectly, I don't know if you could have practiced falling to hit it like that, right? It just had to be the right way that it just, was able to immediately cut it. So it wasn't anything that was unsafe. It was just, could have happened really anywhere. It was just a really weird angle, and it was pretty intense.
Right on her knee?
Yeah, right across it. But the nice thing was, one of our docs, it's skin, right? The skin is so much better than anything else could be on the body, right? So, yeah, she's very, very tough, though. I'll tell you that she's even going, because it's a tough gash.
So was that after practice on Wednesday? Or?
Right away. Not even. We were just getting ready to start. It was literally 3 minutes before we started. Yeah.
What can you say about the team's ability to kind of handle a freak accident like that?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, that she's getting taken care of right off of that floor, because it's a big, like a Hyatt conference room. So the court's there, but there's a lot of space. So the docs are kind of right there. So your eyes want to go over, is she okay? But I think we did a good job saying it's skin, right? But it's still, when one of your teammates is in an uncomfortable situation, they love each other a lot. So I thought they did an excellent job of focusing. They practiced hard for that time frame. And I think they kept their focus for the most part. I mean, you take anybody out of any starting lineup that's your quarterback, it's going to be a little tough sledding. And that could have gone a lot of different ways. And the Rhode Island game, they were a really scrappy, hard-nosed team. Their coach I like and respect a lot. And I knew, even before anybody was hurt, those games in the islands and the other countries are tough. So I'm just thankful that we got it. And yeah, we didn't look always sharp, and it, a little sloppy, but we're pretty young, and I have to remember that.
You never want one of your better ball handlers, your best ball handler, to be out, but with a team like Tennessee come up and the pressure they're going to face with them, was it kind of maybe a little blessing?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like, as we got the sense of what that's going to be like, and obviously Tennessee is going to be, another level up with their size and athleticism, and that's what their coaching staff has done and does. So it was, I told them, I said it was, just a great challenge, and, when you get to learn and grow and get a win, that's what's so good about it. But yeah, I mean, because you just can't get your practice squads to simulate presses sometimes. And I mean, we can't even get them to simulate what Tennessee's going to do. So the best thing that happened was that feeling. You know, if you play basketball, you know the feeling of getting pressed, right? When all of a sudden you're like, whoa, they're coming in, you don't have a dribble left, and that blood pressure goes up. So that was the best part that happened down in Mexico, is they got that feeling in an intense environment, what they had to do, and started to square up with a little more authority. So that did prepare us, I hope. It gave us another type of dress rehearsal, but I'm telling you, that Tennessee press is impressive.
I know you had planned on ramping up Aaliyah going down there ahead of time, to get her not just more minutes, but significant minutes in the kind of heat of battle as she's trying to get her head spinning or stop from spinning. Just how productive was the week for her?
Yeah, I think that was great. I mean, I don't know if we win without Aaliyah Guyton down there, right? Because she, I was so impressed with her. I mean, you think about it, she hadn't played a game in 11 and a half months, a game, right? She just really got cleared Friday, the Friday before, to go hard and no rules. So then she comes down, and it's not just, it's not cush. She got in a little bit before we left, right? But it was nothing on the line. Then we're asking her to go in and being like, you got to handle the pressure. And oh, by the way, no one's scoring. We need you to score. And oh, by the way, you need to direct the offense. And she made some turnovers and some unforced, errors. But man, I think even if you played golf and you didn't golf for about 11 months, it'd be kind of intimidating to go out there and, kind of tee it off right down the fairway, and I thought she did a really, really nice job. We probably, played her a little bit too many minutes, because the knee, you got to manage the load. So, we'll get that, continue to do that. But she sure looked good when she was down there.
Would she allow you to play Lucy off the ball some if that's what you want to do?
Yeah, she could. We're not ready for that yet. She had some nice minutes down there. By virtue of have to, but I don't know if that's in our best to slide someone else out of that starting lineup. Kylie's playing pretty well. Sid gives us the whole thing, a whole different, physical, bigger statue. Makes us a little bit small, if we were to do that. But I think once she gets more and more used to our system, I think that could be a possibility, but I'm not gearing up for that possibility. Only because I kind of like the way we're going with others. But again, if she's playing that well and she's shooting that well, that's certainly something that we could entertain.
What is it about Tennessee's press that makes it a challenge?
Yeah, I think they, I think their smallest player is 5'10", right? So they're just a lot of size, and it's just kind of what they do. So make or miss, and they have 2 or 3 different types that they seemingly are their favorites. So it keeps coming at you, right? And I think that's the thing, the size. And, some people will press on, free throws and dead balls, right? They'll kind of have a cadence. With Tennessee, they like to go, go, go. And they also, do some of those Hawkeyes subs. So it just always, poses a little bit of a different challenge when you got 5 coming in. And, what's fun about basketball is every game presents a different game plan and strategy. So it's difficult, but it's also interesting because we haven't faced this for a real long time. And it'll be interesting to see how our team responds, because there's a lot of kids in that lineup you have to know, because they all play a lot of minutes. Sometimes if you have someone, point guard usually plays 39 minutes, right? So the backup, you maybe don't have to be as keyed in. But with this team, you really have to kind of lock in on their personnel.
Offensively, they really subscribe to the shoot a three-pointer or a shot in the lane. How do you defend a team that shoots like 48% of their shots from 3?
Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? Yeah, I think it goes back to kind of knowing personnel. And, trying to figure out, how to take away some of their favorite things that they like to do. They're pretty talented. They got some kids who can get downhill real fast. They got, so they're going downhill really fast, so you need to help, but then you got that amazing shooter in the corner, right? So we need to, I think, just really need to be pretty locked into who does what well